Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra with me, Shel Patnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Markets have absolutely flattened out, given up most of the gains. Remember, at one point in time, we were looking at gains of over 200 odd points in the trade, and right now you can see 24,151 on the Nifty right now, which is absolutely flat. The Nifty Bank has also cooled off from its day's high levels, but they are still holding on to at least half of the gains that they had maintained. So half odd percent of an uptick still remains on the Nifty Bank, 51,847 right now. The IT stocks continue to be at the top spot, 1.3% higher. Stocks like Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, they are contributing most to the gains on the Nifty right now. PSU banks have also pulled up in trade now, about 0.6% higher in trade. Financial services, private sector banks and the realty spaces are also showing us some strength as of now. Within the PSUs, it's PFC that is shown now brightly in trade today, 7% higher. Power Grid is also up about 5%. You have REC that's up too. Several of these PSU stocks that are ruling the roost right now. When we talk about the F&O space, you have Biocon, PFC, Power Grid as among those which are in the thick of trade right now. Good afternoon, Shel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Two stocks and two differing fortunes, despite the fact that both of them came up with a terrible set of numbers. Look at Asian Paints. What you see is a consistent fall in prices as far as the individual stock is concerned, and there is let's just say little or no buying support coming to lift the stock up from its intraday low. So you have at the moment almost 8 percentage point drop, yes, 8.5% drop, almost where it began, 235 down, 2533, disastrous set of numbers, a drop in volume, drop in a sharp contraction in margins for the second quarter. Both sales and profit contracted as well, and at this point of time at 8.5% down, you have a very sharp sell-off in terms of volumes. Almost 1,939 crores worth of shares have been traded, and contrast to this is Tata Motors, and equally well, let's just not use the word disastrous, but an equally painful set of second quarter. But the stock had corrected substantially, and you see an early morning high being paid off 831, but nevertheless 0.5% higher. Apart from that, buying resurfaces in trend post the corrective fall on its earnings. Power Finance Corporation, as Sakshi has marked already, and Shipping Corporation. Shipping rise, SCI deep value stock up 10.5%. Early morning it was up about 13%, but like we've been pointing out, there have been sharp individual outperformances, but overall the selling pressure remains on top of the market. 24,200 call writer is not letting the Nifty go up, but strong moves coming in Nifty Bank, led primarily by State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, all of them in the green, and of course Axis Bank 9 rupees higher, and IT. TCS up 57 rupees, Infosys up 33, and when you look at the broader markets within the IT space, Wipro a percentage points higher. Billionaire owner Mr. Azim Premji writes a check to buy back a part of Wipro from the market. Coforge 1.3% higher. Sakshi, Coforge has changed a digit, above 8,000 now.
Record.
So record high here, and of course there's no stopping HCL Tech. So in this kind of a market, ladies and gentlemen, we have a record high on Coforge, which should be chased, and 4 other stocks, Federal Bank, Indian Hotels, and Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences. So these are the 4 record highs actually in this market.
Absolutely. Let's welcome our guest on the show. We are now joined by Kunal Rambia, founder of the Streets, to be with us on the show. Warm welcome to you, Kunal, and good to have you with us. You know, as an important update, equity fund inflows have hit a record high of 41,887 crores in October. This is despite all that sell-off that we've seen from FIIs and continuous 4 weeks of sell-off in the markets. It's a record high fund flow for equities 41,887 odd crore rupees. Kunal, how are you reading the sentiment into the markets? This is all thanks to the retail investors and the domestic investors at large, the HNIs too, which have been propping up and putting their confidence in the Indian market despite all negatives that have come in. Your sense?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon, Shelsa, and good afternoon to all our viewers also. So yes, undoubtedly, the fund flow is huge, but at the same time, we cannot negate the effect of the FII sell-off also, which we have seen. The indices are down by around 8.5, 9%, and most of the counters have come down by 25, 30% also. We have seen a sharp sell-off even in, the other counters like defense counters. So yes, I think this fund flow might just continue even going forward, and at the same time, the trend on the indices remains absolutely positive. So I consider this correction to be like buying opportunity, as you rightly mentioned. The fund is huge, and that's continuous. That's likely to continue. So looking at the indices trend and the fund flow, I think this particular trend might just continue on the indices. And as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is concerned, I think the downside is now very, very limited after 19 to 20 days of consolidation. I think from here we can see a broad-based buying coming in very, very soon.
Welcome, Kunal, and a fairly decent day on the Nifty and a strong one on the IT index. In terms of relative strength, what are the one or two stocks where you see momentum continuing in the IT space, and then a view on Tata Motors?
So shares are very optimistic on TCS and Infosys, and TCS is the counter which we picked up today. The only reason was after 15 days of sideways consolidation, this counter gave first breakout on 6th November, and the follow through happened today. And if you look at the 6th November high, that was decisively taken out today itself. So with this level at the present level, I think one can initiate a buy also on TCS. The stop loss will be 4150, that's 50 points away, which is approximately 1%. And the targets on this can be 4300 to 4350. And the second counter is Infosys. Again, that counter has not really gained the lost momentum, but the recent behavior of last 7 to 8 days is really very strong. Considering that with the stop loss of 1820, one can go long on this, and the targets can be 1950 to 1955. When it comes to Tata Motors, when you were mentioning about those two counters, I actually had a look at it. It's looking, to me, it's looking a value buying now. Reason being, it's near to the previous rally level where it started. 800 was a mark from where it straight away went up to 1050. It's available right at that level. I will not be really, excited to buy today. I'll wait for a day or two consolidation. The trigger point which I have kept is 825. Above 825, we can initiate a buy on Tata Motors also. Stop loss can be 790, and the targets can then be 925, 930. But for now, we'll just wait and watch for a day or two on Tata Motors.
Okay, we'll wait for a day or two on Tata Motors. Another Tata Group stock that I will ask you, Trent. It's after a long haul, 3.5% higher, 6522. Do you think the worst may be behind in terms of a little bit of correction that we have seen on this stock after those record high levels? And do you think now is the time to start building onto this stock again?
So, Sakshi, the problem with the vertical rally is this itself. On 6th August, check the lows, there was 5,200. And
Correct.
somewhere in the month of October, 10th October, it went up to 8,300. Now, after that, even if I look at this correction, it's not showing me that the trend is negative. It's very, very well poised for the positive trend. Lost ground was seen day before yesterday, but today it has reclaimed those two last 2 days correction also to 50%, almost 50%. So the breakout on this counter now for the momentum trader is 6,700. Watch out for that level. If the counter manages to stay above 6,700, I think the trend might just continue till 8,500, 9,000 levels also. If someone is, someone who thought of accumulating this counter in the previous rally, I think this is a good level to start accumulating this counter. Downside on this can be 6,200. That can be a good stop loss and initiate the trade. I think this can really deliver good returns in next 1.5, 2 months time itself.
Right. Just a note of caution, ladies and gentlemen. I think because it's just entered the Nifty and people knew that Trent was supposed to come into Nifty, the ramp up has been phenomenal. So what you see is a mild underperformance on the quarterly numbers, and the stock was really taken to the cleaners as just mentioned by Kunal. 8,000 was the most recent high. This is a market capitalization of 2,32,000 crores. And if you see the last 1 year performance, 1.6 times is what Trent has gained. In the last 5 years, each year 66%. So one needs to be really careful. For the sake of those who look at fundamental numbers, it's a PE of 128 and a price to book of 50. So with due caution.
Absolutely. Okay, Kunal, help us understand, beyond the spaces that we have discussed thus far, how would you look at PFC today? And would you chase the momentum after this 7.5-8% surge that we've seen on the stock?
Absolutely, Sakshi. Very comfortable with, in fact, two counters. One is PFC, second is REC. Look at
Okay.
PFC. Actually, this counter has been in sideways consolidation since January 2024. This level was around 440. From there, it went up to as high as 550. Again, back to 440 levels. It's consolidating in that zone itself. Narrow consolidation zone is 440 to 480. In fact, today, it's giving the breakout of this last 25-30 days of consolidation on the chart. The trend is absolutely positive considering the volume which is seen today and the momentum which is seen. I think with the stop loss of 465, one can initiate a buy on PFC, and the immediate targets can be 515 to 520. And similar is the case with REC. It's looking equally attractive.
Yes. And the bounce actually on PFC today is from 200-day DMA. And that's really positive. And if I may add, the PE of PFC, where you see a huge path to strong profit growth, is 7.5 versus the one that we just discussed, which was 128. And the price to book is 1.45 versus what we just discussed, 50. So one needs to be really very careful of what one is getting into at this point of time. Power Finance Corporation is also a fabulous outperformance. Last 1 year 68%, last 3 years each year 62%, and last 5 years each year 40%. So please keep these in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Stocks have corrected sharply from all-time highs, as you see 570 on PFC and as you saw 8,000 on Trent, but they are still way above what is a normal, what was that histogram return that we used to do in statistics. So please be very careful, but in terms of valuations, PFC is far better off than what Trent is, and perhaps a strong growth profile as well. Any view that you would have on Asian Paints, Kunal? It's been beaten black and blue, gap down, and absolutely no buying coming in from the early morning downtick. But the good part is that it hasn't fallen further. Is the worst over, or are we waiting for a nice hammering?
See, now again, sir, for such kind of counters, just let's go back and check out the levels from 2021. So in 2021, April 2021, counter was near to 25, 40, 50. And from there, it went up to as high as 3,600 kind of levels. Again, it came back to 30, 25, 50 somewhere in the month of June 22. And now it's the third time it has reached the same level. And if you look at the performance of last 3 years, it's been sideways consolidating counter itself. Intermediate support on the chart was at around 2,700, and the extreme support which you can see on the chart is 2,500 to 2,550 levels. So right now it's trading at 2,550 levels. It's a bargain buy, but I will not be really keen to initiate buy when the counter is declining like this. A day or two's consolidation, sideways consolidation, and if the counter bounces from this level, I think this can be wonderful buying opportunity again for range traders. So with the stop loss of around 2,450, one can initiate a buy, and then let's keep the target open because the higher channel is pretty high. That's 3,500 levels. So from this level, I think risk reward ratio is favorable for longs. I will not be buying today. I'll wait for a day or two's consolidation to initiate the trade.
Okay, got it. Banks are in fine shape. PSU banks now up 0.7%. You have financial services and private sector banks also inching all over 0.5% higher in rate. Which way of within the banking space would you be interested in? Will it be private sector banks? Will it be PSU banks that are now showing, signs of reversal after a long haul consolidation? Will it be continuing to be these NBFC names that have been going up despite all this correction in the last 4 weeks? Your sense?
So, Sakshi, I had been discussing about the PSU the PEC with Shell sir also. So we just discussed, I think, State Bank of India that day when the counter was
Yes.
near to 800 levels. And look at this counter now; it's in trend. It's near to 850 levels. The trend is absolutely strong and intact. So with the stop loss of 830, I think State Bank can even be bought at the present level. Similar is the case with one private bank, not PSU as of now, but private. That's ICICI Bank again. Counter is right near to the support. It made a low near to the previous bottom, which is 1250, 1247 today, 1250 level. So with the stop of 1250, I think ICICI can also be bought. I'm not just buying, on all the banking names right now, but yeah, these are two selected counters. One PSU and one is private. Yeah, and one more PSU, which is looking really good, is Bank of Baroda. It came out of sideways consolidation. Breakout was 255. It went up to 265. Retested that breakout today. I think good bargain buying again on that counter. So with the stop of 250, I think Bank of Baroda can also be bought. So these are the three counters to watch out for.
Yes. I think the only bright spot in second quarter earnings so far from four PSU banks. It started with Bank of Baroda, followed by Canara Bank, then came PNB, and of course, post Friday's close, it was State Bank of India. So there is a secular drop in gross non-performing assets. There is a distinct rise in credit growth, and of course, both net interest income and NIMs have improved. So please keep an eye out on these four stocks. In fact, they are the cornerstone of the very little bull space that is left in the market over the last 10 odd trading sessions, all of them in the green. PNB in fact is one of the top gainers today, and as also is the PSU banking index. I think in the morning I saw it in the nice green tick. Let's just see today. Nifty PSU banking index, yes, 0.65% higher, 6890 for you, and out of 12 stocks, 8 of them are in the green. As good a time as any to look at the advanced decline, 731. Remember in the morning it was sub 600, and 1638 stocks are still in the red. Sakshi and I track 19 indices for you. About 10 of them are in the green, 9 of them are in the red. Small cap is being taken to the cleaners, 1 percentage points down. How about mid cap? Down 0.7%. How about NSE 500? Flat. But IT, PSU Bank, Nifty Financial Services is what is pulling the market higher. And Kunalji, we all need to brace up for the fact that starting next week, the weekly expiries of many indices will disappear.
Correct.
Are you
So overall, the
planning a
volatility
holiday?
will remain. No, not at all, certainly, because it's already done. But yeah, now actually, this will be the time for us to start working because weekly expiry pain is gone now. So we'll be able to strategize much better, in fact.
You know what's a little problematic? So suppose the monthly call of Bank Nifty is 1200 on any strike. The weekly call used to be 300. Divide by 4,
Correct.
correct? So it was affordable. Now you will have just one option, trading for month end. And with a 1200 rupee price ticket, I am just giving you an example. With a 1200 point price ticket, let's just see what the option chain is doing today. Let's look at the option chain for Bank Nifty, and we'll just look at the FAR month option. Just a moment, please. Bank Nifty. Okay. Bank Nifty FAR month is 27th November. Okay. Okay. Is at 631. The call for 52,500 is 637 rupees. So the problem becomes, one is affordability, and two, because it is such a volatile index, the margin of safety is very less. To say कि 300 रुपए में 300 ही गिरेगा, लेकिन 636 में ज़रा ज़्यादा नुकसान हो सकता है. तो these will be initially days where a lot of people will keep the index very volatile. Kunal, what do you intend to do?
Honestly speaking, sir, for us, it's more comfortable. Reason being that we get a little more time to take the directional judgment. So far, we were just thinking about option selling because if I feel that the trend is positive, I used to sell put options, right? But now, at least when I know that the trend is positive and there is a breakout, I can create the position and hold for a little longer period of time, which was very difficult for weekly expiry. So, honestly, we always sold weekly options, but we always bought monthly options so far. So I think that monthly buying strategy will continue going forward, and this is what is the intention now here on.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Let's get back to the markets to see if there are any other opportunities that Kunal can help us spot right there. Kunal, anything in the broader markets that catches your attention today? Several stocks are actually up in single digit, high single digits and double digits as well. What looks positive to you after today's move?
So, one mid cap counter which is looking really attractive and it's doing amazing today is Borosil Renewables. Now, this
Okay.
is the counter which I think earlier we discussed on our platform also. This counter, the trend is absolutely positive, but sideways consolidating counter. 2 weeks back, it gave a spike of around 11%, and today it's up by 10% because of result effect. The trend is very strong. In fact, the sideways small consolidation breakout is also on charts. So with the stoppers, I think around 495, one can go long even at the present level. And the first target can be 550. And above that, it can show us the crazy high levels of 600 plus levels. So it's a positional trade. But someone wants to initiate trade now. I think with the stop of 495, one can initiate a buy on this.
254, ladies and gentlemen, the Nifty is looking up 44 points higher, 24,191, and contributors are Infosys, TCS, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, to some extent even Axis and Kotak, including SBI. This is the picture that we are looking at. The Nifty IT index is 1.5 percentage points higher. There are two reasons for that. One, the probable tax cut which may happen in the US market, which is the primary market for Indian IT services companies, might just nudge Fortune 500 companies to start spending. Remember, local IT spend has been the cornerstone of how companies have reported earnings, but US markets are tepid. You can see it from guidance of companies such as HCL Tech, Wipro, Infosys. Both of them, all three of them have shaved a bit. Plus, a weak rupee has a short-term positive impact on IT stocks because they earn all their money in dollars. When they convert it into rupees, the earnings get a boost. So these are the two reasons that you see IT stocks in great shape. Infosys in particular, TCS, all of them are again showing signs of edging up towards their record high. And of course, HCL Tech is already there, Coforge is already there. So this is something to look forward to.
In TCS, there is interesting trade. If you permit, I can just share with
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
sir.
all our viewers. So that's on the option front. So what we are doing here is that TCS is anyway looking attractive. We discussed about the charts. So 4200 call is available right now at 65. Okay, and 4250, which is 50 points away strike price, is available at 40 rupees. So we buy 4200 call and we sell 4250 call. So the net cost on this strategy is going to be 15 rupees, 1 5. And because our view on the TCS is to go up by at least say 150 to 200 points by the end of the month, the earning on this can be almost 50 rupees. So with the risk of 15 rupees, we are trying to make the spread of 50 rupees. 1:3 risk reward ratio is available on this, which can be really good trade for remaining number of days of this month.
TCS just bounced from its 200-day moving average
Exactly.
about 3 trading sessions ago. And of course, given the enthusiasm for IT, this is something to be looked forward to. May I request the PCR to fire a longer term chart of TCS? You see an all-time high of somewhere like 4,600 rupees. 4,600 rupees on September 2nd, and we are now at a most recent low of 3963. So a nice swing trade in the making. Let's hope Mr. Trump gives a nice corporate tax cut to corporate America, and then we'll have good things rolling.
Absolutely. Let's welcome our other guest also on board the panel. Brijesh Singh joins in, Senior Technical Analyst at Stock Access. Warm welcome to you, Brijesh ji, and good to have you with us. Tell us, how is the market really looking to you at this point in time? We are seeing extreme volatility. Do you think it will continue this fashion in this entire week? We are going to be seeing several macros as well, macro data points too. What looks good to you, and where are you staying away?
So good afternoon everyone. Regarding with the market has been considered, as you have said already, the volatility has been there, and that's what we've been seeing in the market from last 4-5 days. Now, if I talk about the trend is still weak. Why? Because we are near the always trying to catch the 2400 marks, 1000 marks in Nifty, and 2-3 times if it's been touched and if it's giving a bounce, but that is an indication that the swing low which is made, that might be broken and we might drift below that also. So immediately if I talk about the range, it is 23,800 to 24,500 band. That is the range which I am looking for, but trend has been weak. Any rise if you see towards 24,300 or 24,350 mark, we are seeing a selling pressure in it. The only thing is that the negative divergence should not be there in the indicator front. If it's been there, then 23,866 if I'm not, or 16 if I'm not mistaken, the swing low, recent swing low, we might break that level and we might drift towards the level of 23,500 zone. Regarding with the bank Nifty has been considered, the promising as compared to Nifty, the charts are looking good. But 52,100, 52,500 is the immediate resistance level, whereas the support lies at 51,500 and 51,100 band. So it's near that resistance zone. So overall swings has been there. If someone wants to play for the market on the buy side, then since Q2 results are there, if results are fine, technical and fundamentals are fine, one can take a long on it. Otherwise, try to avoid the market right now.
सिंह साहब की जय हो। तो अवॉइड करें तो बताइए कहाँ दर्शन होंगे आपके?
बहुत बहुत चलिए जी, आपको गुड आफ्टरनून। रिगार्डिंग आपने प्रश्न कहा कि कहाँ दर्शन होंगे, हम आपके स्टूडियो में आ जाते हैं दर्शन देने के लिए। Regarding with the market has been considered, 2-3 stocks looks good on the chart where one can play on a buy side. If we look, PFC, REC are the two one where we are seeing some buying in it, and pullback has been there from a recent swing high of 566 around जहाँ से वो टूटा था, and it made a low of 426. from there we are seeing a pullback 481 के आसपास में ट्रेड हो रहा है. I feel that 469 should not be get broken. If it holds, then we can see pullback towards the level of 500 and 510 is the level in PFC. If I go with the REC has been considered, then 528 around has been trading. It should not break a level of 507. So dip towards the level of 520, 522 के आसपास में अगर REC मिलता है तो बाइंग कर सकते हैं 507 का स्टॉप लॉस लेके. And regarding with the upside resistance has been considered 555, 558 is a level where resistance lies for REC.
Okay, got it. So that's the PFC and REC spaces that are buzzing, and both Kunal and Brijesh ji have thrown their weight behind these two particular stocks that you could be looking at in case you're looking at momentum plays in the markets. Brijesh ji, IT space में where are you keeping your attention? Big four IT firms में जाएंगे या mid cap में जाएंगे? Record high Coforge में भी देखने को मिल रहा है. So choose कैसे कर रहे हैं आप इस momentum में stocks IT space में?
So Sakshi, the IT sector is looking promising. If I look at the index, 42,500 around is been trading, 41,700, 41,300 is the support level for IT index. Regarding on the higher side, it might try to touch towards the level of 43,700, 44,200 band. Few stocks which look promising, and some channels which I have been saying, Wipro looks good, followed by SCL Tech and Persistent. Now if you want me to give the rate and the target, so I'll start with that. Wipro 573 around, triple five is a support. It should not break that level. If it holds, then we might try to touch 610, 620 on Wipro. SCL Tech, if I talk about, then 1867, it's been trading. 1770 is a level it should not break. On the higher side, 2020 is a level where the resistance lies. And regarding with the persistence is been considered, then right now at 5,727 around it's been trading. Not at the current level. If it trades somewhere around 5,600 or below, one can take a buy call in it with the stop loss of 5,300 and then play for the target of 6,200, 6,300 on level.
One more stock, I think, Sakshi, which has not received the due credit is Federal Bank. You know, we've been so busy talking about the pain in the market. Here is a stock that is at a record high, and this started on earnings day. Again, a blowout that happened on 29th of October. This is a quiet overachiever, and for the moment, it's trading at somewhere 207.39. Brijesh, what would be a good entry level for Federal Bank?
See, Shailaji, already we have seen a stock making a triple bottom formation at 180 odd level. From there, we have seen stock and making a new high today. High was 208.2, and that is a 52-week high. Aggressive trading, I should be saying, since the volatility we there, try to avoid. But somewhere around 202 to 204 is a level where one can play out for a buy side with the stop loss of 194 and then play for the target of 220, 224 is a zone where the next supply zone I would be saying would be coming. If someone has a view of say for a 2 month to a 3 month time frame, then 180 would be the level as a stop loss, because from there always it has given a bounce back, and 245, 252 is a band of resistance it lies.
Right. Federal Bank announced on 28th October a stunning set of numbers. Net profit rose 10%. It was up both sequentially as well as year on year to about 1115 crores, and net interest income was up 21% to 7006 crores, again growing sequentially as well as year on year. So this is something that one needs to look at. A very modest PE of 12, and if you look at the price to book, it's not bad either. Its book value is 124, so it's almost price to book of 2. So this is something that needs to be on your radar. At least if you see a dip, maybe a nice entry. This is a low beta stock, but like I said, quiet overachievers are ignored. But in this kind of a market, we have a record high on Federal Bank. Sakshi.
So those are amazing stories that we are discovering even in this volatile market, and we'll continue to do so. Let's move on. ब्रिजेश जी, बायोकॉन के एफएनओ स्पेस में देख के बताइए, 8.5% जो आज मूव हुआ है, इसको आप कैसे समझ रहे हैं अभी फिलहाल, और अभी आगे क्या स्ट्रेंथ है इसमें और बायोकॉन में?
So if I talk about from a technical point of view regarding leaving the FNO part, see, the stock had made a high of 395 around 390, 395 के band में multiple time it has taken the resistance. From there it has fallen and it made a low of 290 or 294 zone around, and it has even broken the 200 simple moving average. Last Friday it has given the bounce back from that level of 200 that gave a positive sign. Today we are seeing the stock is trading above the 20-day and 50-day simple moving average with increase in volume. So that indicates that इसमें strength आ गई है. Current level पे buying कर सकते हैं. Any dip somewhere around 342 around also one can look out to buy. Regarding with the support as a stop loss has been considered, 332 is a level where the support lies. One can keep that thing as a stop loss. Whereas on the higher side resistance की बात करूँ तो immediate एक minor resistance है 355 का, but I feel that would be waved off since the volume has been on the higher side. It might try to touch 370, 375 band. That is the first hurdle level which I am looking for, and the next hurdle level would be again that 390, 395 zone. So for a short term bet, it's been considered 332 as a stop loss. Play for the target of 370, 375 zone followed by 390.
Okay, so that's as far as Biocon is concerned, where you can definitely look at those key levels as has been suggested by Brijesh ji. Brijesh ji, अभी देखते हैं थोड़ा broader markets में और क्या आपको लग रहा है अभी interesting. बहुत सारे आज स्टॉक्स हैं जिन्होंने आज काफ़ी अच्छा मूव दिखाया है. शिपिंग कॉरपोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया अभी भी 7% ऊपर है, शुरुआती ट्रेड से ही अब मूव में है. आईटीआई में देखिए पिछले पूरे हफ्ते में ज़बरदस्त रैली और आज भी 8% तक की तेज़ी देखने को मिल रही है. बहुत सारे और स्टॉक्स हैं जहां पर आज मूव है. पीपीएपी ऑटोमोटिव्स आज 20% सर्किट पर बना हुआ है. इसके अलावा भी अगर हम देखेंगे तो पोकरना है जहां पर तेज़ी है. कुछ मूवी रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स हैं. प्रीतिश नांदी कम्युनिकेशंस वहाँ पर अप मूव है. एक रिसेंटली लिस्टेड स्टॉक है केआरएन हीट एक्सचेंजर, यहाँ पर भी 7% तक की मूवी है मूव देखने को मिल रहा है. ज्वारी एग्रो आज ज़बरदस्त रैली में है, आप देखिए 6.5% ऊपर. ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स में क्या पसंद आ रहा है आपको?
So as you have talked, Sakshi, 2-3 stocks looks promising. As you have said, Zwari Agro looks good. Why? Because number one, the previous swing high has been broken. 216 around was the previous swing high that has been broken. Even the volume has been seen a broken and it's been up. So 225 around has been trading. Buying level, if you talk about, then I'll say it's somewhere around 222 or below that level. If it trades, then one can take a buy call in it. Keeping a stop loss of 216, one can play for a buy side, or on the higher side, 236, 238 look good. Prime Security is another stock which look promising. Today's session we have seen stock making a new 52-week high of 359. Right now it's been trading at 342 zone around, so one can play on it on the buy side. Keeping a stop loss of 320, play for the target of 380. It would be taking time. It's not for a very short term. It's like for someone having a view of 2 weeks to 3 weeks time frame. These two stocks look good. And again, as you have said, Shipping Corporation. Shipping Corporation, if you look at the chart, stock had already made a high of 380. So from there, it made a profit booking, and the previous swing low was been retested of 195. From there, we have seen a pullback. So right now, it's been trading in 228 around. So 225 and below is a level of a buy side, with keeping a stop loss of 214 and play for the target of 255, 256.
Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, is dancing between the red and the green. Now up 15 points, and this is trying to buck the trend mainly on account of banks and IT, which are the two heaviest weighted sectors within the Nifty. Let's look at the points contribution. Remember, in the morning it was Infosys that was contributing the maximum. Still now, 30 points from Infosys in the green. ICICI Bank 23 points, HDFC Bank 15, TCS 15, and Power Grid 13 points. What is pulling the Nifty lower? Asian Paints. Although the weightage of Asian Paints is minimal, because there is an 8 percentage point cut, the point contribution is 28 points. M&M 11 points, Britannia 9.6, Reliance almost 9, and L&T about 8 points as well. Let's maybe look at some good things to talk about. Sakshi, Mannapuram 3 percentage points higher at 155. Remember, we are marking this stock from 135 rupees. We are marking Tata Motors from about 815, 820 rupees. We are marking L&T from 32, 3300 rupees, and Reliance post bonus somewhere like 1290 is what we have been tracking. Yes, some of those stocks are still below the price that probably is sensible, but remember, nobody catches the bottom except in his or her sleep, and the rest is all lies. So you can at best be buying around what is a good corrective point, which is seen in Tata Motors. What will happen beyond that, only time will tell. But 311 and a strong show on Mannapuram. क्या लगता है ब्रिजेश जी?
See, Mannapuram का अगर देखें तो already the gap has been there. The gap was formed on the date of 17th October and 18th October. The gap has been there on the daily charts. I feel that that gap should be filled on. Today in session we have seen stock making a bullish engulfing candlesticks. So that is one of the promising sign, and the recent swing low of 149 should not be good broken. Whereas 159, 160 is a level of resistance. If it surpass, then it might try to touch 177. So I'll say that let it surpass 159, and if it trades above that and if it holds, then 149 would be the stop loss, and then play for the target of 175, 176.
ओके गॉट इट ब्रिजेश जी जोमेटो के शेयर को देखिए अब 4% ऊपर है 258 और लेवल्स कैन बी सीन zooming today will be allocation for Swiggy IPO for those who had invested, and very soon from 13th onwards we'll be tracking two stocks within the food delivery space now, Zomato and Swiggy. Things will be more difficult for both analysts like you and us as well. Of course consumer end पे तो एक में नहीं मिलता है तो दूसरे में चले जाते हैं, choices are plenty. We'll have to see whether investors also have that kind of a choice. क्या लगता है अभी जोमेटो को देखकर अभी स्विगी के आने से पहले और खरीद लें क्या?
See, both are good in the delivery point of view. Has been considered. Now regarding Zomato, has been considered. If I'm not mistaken, 220 odd level we've been tracking the stocks, and now it had the high of 298. After that, stock seen a profit booking. Swing low of 240, 240 was not been broken of 2 points or 3 points here and there. And after that, we have seen a pullback. The clusters of a moving average, 20-day, 50-day, 10 days, are all near that level. So I feel that 240 is the level which should not be get broken. If it holds, then we can see a pullback, and that pullback really would be sharp towards the level of 280 to 85. So the Zomato overall trend has been promising. Present trade or dips can be used to accumulate, but 240 is a level of a support that should not be get broken. So that is a strict stop loss one should maintain it.
You know, Sakshi, for the next 2 years, which is 8 quarters, the day Swiggy reports its earnings, Zomato will rise. Yes.
Because अभी उसका profitability नहीं आना है इतनी जल्दी, and therefore you see Zomato continuing to report its profits. Yeah.
So against a loss of 2,300 crores, that is the reported number in the DRHP for Swiggy. Let me give you Zomato's second quarter number. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was 176 crores, which was up 3.9 times from year ago, which was 36 crores. And from from the first quarter, it was down, but first quarter profit was 253 crores. And second quarter was 176.
See, 90% year-on-year jump in profits
Yes.
it had reported.
So please keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. जब स्विगी की अर्निंग्स आएंगी, जोमेटो का स्टॉक बढ़ेगा, ध्यान दीजिएगा कभी.
That will be interesting to watch. Yes.
These are beautiful things in the market, you know. There was a time Hutchison SR used to report its monthly numbers, and Bharti used to rise because there was no other way. Hutchison was not listed, and Bharti was the lone telecom stock that was listed. So we will see, but valuations of Swiggy in the IPO are fairly decent. They also know they've made a loss, so you have to sort of compensate it that way. And some of the most marquee set of people have bought in, but they bought Paytm as well. So you know, markets are a great teacher in the long term. Let us see what happens. Paytm का हम लोगों ने IPO देखा, Zomato का भी देखा, Hyundai का भी देखा. तो अगर सीखना हो ज़िंदगी में कुछ तो बाज़ार से सीखिए. बढ़िया बढ़िया सीख मिलती हैं, और उनमें से एक ये है कि स्विगी की अर्निंग्स पर जोमेटो बढ़ेगा. और ये भी होगा इंटरेस्टिंगली कि जो 2300 करोड़ का लॉस है वो कम होगा.
Of course.
है ना?
Of course.
तो जैसे जैसे कम होगा उस दिन स्विगी भी बढ़ेगा.
Very interesting. It's going to get very interesting, and of course it's going to be good to track these food delivery stocks which are a part of our daily lives nowadays. It's not just food delivery. Remember, the key point for Zomato and for Swiggy will be how their quick commerce business is growing, because that is poised to grow much faster than their food delivery business as per the management's own focus. Swiggy is also using the cash flows that it is raising via the IPOs for the expansion of its dark stores for It's Instamart business. Zomato already has projected huge expansion of Blinkit, and they are projecting an even faster growth for Blinkit going forward. So those are the two big triggers, and which is why DMart has been lagging behind in their earnings, because they do not have a quick commerce business, and that is where an established business, one of the most favorite and popular businesses, which has given so much wealth to all the investors in the recent past, is now facing that tough competition in that area as well. ब्रिजेश जी, अब ये बताइए डीमार्ट को कैसे देखेंगे फिर?
DMart stock, if I talk about right now, see, the stock had broken its 200 simple moving average. And as a technical, we all know on a daily chart, when stock breaks or an index breaks, is 200 simple moving average is near the grip of the bear. Even if I look at the weekly chart time frame, it is near the 200 simple moving average on the weekly chart, 3790 around is a level. So I'll say that 3750 is a very crucial level. It should not be get broken. If it breaks, then it might try to touch a level of 3200, 3300. That is one part. Regarding with the higher side as a resistance is being considered, the first resistance lied at 4200 and the tough resistance lied at 4400 zone. So I feel that 3700 is a very crucial level. So just for a mean reversion point of view, I'll say that keep a stop loss 3700 and then play for the target of 4200. I feel that 3700 should not be get broken.
Let's look at the all-time high of Avenue Supermarts. This was again 5400, and in the not so distant past, 24th of September, and from 24th 54 is down to 38. This is the price where the stock was on 20th Feb, and primarily its earnings, because people have stopped visiting stores. They want the store to come to them. Interestingly, Sakshi, if you look at the weekly chart of Avenue Supermarts, this is a price which is resting at its what is this, 3775, okay, 200 week average, यानी कि 4 साल के average price पर आपको मिल रहा है ये counter. Let us see how it goes. It's broken the monthly chart on its way down, and quarterly chart में तो अभी बहुत time है, so maybe 3456 is where a very strong support is, and at the moment we are at 3880. Let us see how it goes, but this is what it is. A 21 quarter low. 21 quarters would be what? 21 into 3, 66 months, 5 years. So this is where a 21 quarter low is 3456, and let's hope it doesn't come to that, but that's how it is.
Very interesting. Wow. Okay. So there you have it.
Let
The
me show you
sharp
some
downtake.
other interesting
Right.
charts, Sakshi. We can't show it on air, but this is the weekly chart that I was talking about. This is a 21-month week low.
Yeah.
My apologies, this is a 200 week low,
Okay.
and the monthly chart is bad. See, it's broken. So it's broken here.
Huge red candle.
Yes, and if you see similar charts on Tata Motors, they provide support. So typically in this kind of a corrective phase, one must look at weekly, monthly, quarterly support levels, and they will give you an idea, especially on a very bad day, which is earnings led. If there is a support emerging on a quality long term chart, then typically that support works. We don't know whether Tata Motors will retest 794 or not, but the risk is less as an entry point.
Absolutely. Brijesh, Tata Motors?
That is what is important. You know, when you are looking at technicals, जनरली एक सिंपल सी भाषा में अगर बोला जाए कि अगर कोई आप किताब पढ़ रहे हैं या कोई आप किसी को देख रहे हैं एकदम नियर बाय अगर आप लेके आ जाएंगे, यू वुड नॉट बी एबल टू सी द क्लियर पिक्चर, एंड इफ इट इज वेरी फार अवे आल्सो देन आल्सो यू वुड नॉट बी एबल टू सी द क्लियर पिक्चर. सो वीकली एंड द मंथली चार्ट्स आर वेरी मच फॉर द फ्रॉम अ टेक्निकल फ्रंट आल्सो it's give you a very clear picture where the trend lies. So now regarding with the Tata Motor has been considered, as we were talking about, as Shailaji has said, 790 or 794 is a level to be watched carefully. If it holds, then well and very good. Otherwise, it might try to retest the downwards. It might test 760 or even below that level also. So I am looking like first level to watch would be 790 followed by 760. These are the two level as a support, or if someone wants to play against the trend and just to catch the bottom. But it's very hard to catch. But 760 and 790 are the level. If someone wants to play on a buy side, keep this thing as a stop loss. Pullback rally, if it happens, then 860 is the first hurdle, followed by 910 would be the another hurdle as a resistance lies. So 790 should be the stop loss if someone wants to play for the Tata Motor.
Fair point. That's what Tata Motors is at almost 800 rupees. Tata Motors is now available at its lowest since 25th of Jan. And it's corrected exactly 33% from its 31st July peak, which was 1177. So lots of interesting things are happening in the market. As Nilesh ji, Mr. Nilesh Shah, who was with us a little while ago, he was saying ki, this is a stock pickers market. You can probably go wrong by another 5-7%. But remember, it's off 33 from the peak. Can it fall further? Yes, but margin of safety is always there.
That's very important. Markets are now down 24,131, 16 points lower in trade. So we'll just have to see within the next 6 minutes whether the markets pull off above that flat line or actually give in. The Nifty bank, although, is still holding up about 0.6% higher. Almost that 300-point mark can be seen on the upside for the Nifty bank. When we look at the key sectors, it's clearly the IT and the banks only which are supporting the sentiments. Rest, all of them have slipped. So it's the media stocks that are down 1.4%. Small caps are the ones that are the ones big drag, 1.2% lower in trade. Several stocks which are sharply lower. Let me just mention Aarti Industries. There is no recovery in sight on this one. 7.5% lower. Data Patterns, Aadhaar Housing, Jupiter Wagons, HBL Power, GMDC. You have Hindustan Copper, Rights, Nalco, Ircon. A lot of these railway stocks which are down in trade. BEML. These are all from the small cap basket which are down. Metals are down 1%. Remember, these were the ones that were shining bright even last week. But most of these gains have been given up. Then you have pharma that's down almost 1%. Mid caps are also down by 0.9%. Auto, infra, consumer durables, realty. These are the spaces which are still dragging. IT and banks. Only these are the two pockets. Brijesh ji, banking में PSU banks के साथ जाएंगे या private के साथ?
See, I'll say that I would be avoiding the banks. Only the federal bank starts look promising. See, if I talk about the market, why I'm saying 23,500. If you look out the chart of a Nifty on a daily basis, it has already made a head and shoulder pattern, and that has been broken. 24,700 is the level of that. So उसके नीचे अगर आप उसका टॉप और बॉटम को अगर आप उसको if you take out the range, a downside comes around 23,500, and it's a very powerful pattern. Like if you look out the bullish pattern, so generally cup and handle pattern या flag pattern are the promising. Where same thing अगर हम bearish mode में अगर हम बात करते हैं तो उसमें जो probability है उसकी achieving that target is much more on the higher side of head and shoulder pattern. So 23,500 is a level which I would be looking for. Even the downsides are more, but I am just updating that this is a level that should be achieved. So अगर होगा तो there has to be a selling pressure, and that would be coming from banking or that would be coming from financial. So right now these two sectors are there. So in that, I'll just look, if someone wants to play, as I've said, if someone wants to play on the buy side, Federal Bank chart is much more promising, and it's a slow mover counter, low beta. Somewhere around 200 पे अगर मिलता है, then one can go on the buy side with keeping a strict stop loss of 180, play for the target of 220 followed by 242 or 245.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up the market. Today's high was 24,336. As I have been saying in my morning commentary before markets open, that the 24,400, 24,300 and 24,200 call writers are so strong that bears refuse to give up that level despite very valiant efforts that are being made by the IT stocks and the banking stocks. Every day there is one or two major accidents. Today's was Asian Paints, Friday's was Trent. Before that there are so many examples where one particular stock is chosen by people who have a lot of money to bash its head in, and that is how this trade is happening for the moment. Let's look at the broader picture in terms of advanced decline ratios. Today the top loser is the small cap index, down 1.3%. This is worrisome because a lot of fresh money over the last 8, 10, 12 months in the retail space came via SIPs to the small cap space, and this is getting beaten. 22 out of 100 stocks are in the green. Midcap 100 index is also down 1 percentage points. Only 25 out of 100 shares are in the green. And today's AMFI number, Sakshi, makes a record. 25,000 crore rupees of SIPs on a monthly basis, ladies and gentlemen. Full marks to you, and those are the only thing that is saving this market from disaster. They are helping mutual funds, domestic institutions to offset the selling pressure. Let's hope that over the next couple of months this number gets stronger and stronger, and the Atmanirbhar part of the market keeps it afloat. Sakshi.
Absolutely. 3:29, just a minute to go. Brijesh ji, any parting words that you would like to share with our viewers for the rest of the week?
So I'll say that two stocks which look right now good for the buying side also. One is CCL product, 716 around it's been trading. If someone wants to play on a long side, present rate, keeping a stop loss 685, play for the target 750, 755 followed by 770. And another counter would be JSW Energy, also looks good. Right now it's been trading at 740. Present rate or dip can be used to go long, keeping a stop loss 719. Play for the pullback rally towards the level of 785.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Brijesh ji. Hope you have a great day, and we will continue to track these two stocks for tomorrow also, CCL Products and JSW Energy, as you have shared for all our viewers. We hope that the markets come back in fine fettle pretty soon. 25 points lower in trade is where the Nifty has ended the day with 24,123 as the key level. Nifty Bank, 0.5% higher. IT and the banks were the ones that supported. Rest of the sectors, they all slipped. Power Grid, Trent, HCL Tech, Infosys, Tech Mahindra were the top movers on the Nifty. On the downside, Asian Paints down 8%, Britannia down 6%, Apollo Hospital, Cipla, ONGC and Bajaj Finance were the other top drags as far as the Nifty is concerned. We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned. There's a lot more for you to track even beyond the stock markets on the business front, and that Business Today television will continue to create on your screen. Stay tuned.
The 21st edition of Business Today's most powerful women in business.
The rise of women power, not just in urban centers and in gatherings such as this, but that it had percolated down to rural areas. And to me, this churn is the most exciting and interesting.
Engage with dynamic leaders who are breaking boundaries and shaping a new India from balance, work, life, safety and beyond. As we delve into corporate India's journey towards